Hey guys, welcome to Screenshot. This is the program where we talk everything relevant, trending, that's on everyone's lips. So today on the show, we've got a very special friend of ours. His name is Brains Online. So the first thing that we want to talk about today, so I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there was a tweet from our fellow friend of the show, Alan, and it was saying he's never going to visit another particular establishment because of the service that he got. So it got me thinking about services that we get in our local bars and restaurants, and I have to say I'm also a bit wary about like introducing people to new places because of the service that we get from certain areas. Because there was it's the same establishment that Alan went to, where I encountered professional, if I may say. Professional, she listened in on conversations and she even had the audacity to weigh in. And so if you guys been through that,
So my experience, unfortunately, I haven't experienced a very, very bad service. But with the establishments that I've worked with, when I then refer abantu abangaziwayo, like just as normal patrons, they then come back with the feedback saying that, look, when we went there, the service was really bad, the guys were rude, it took us 15 minutes for us to get served, to be attended to actually, and then another 15 for our food to come, that kind of thing. So what I've noticed is two things. Where's some of these people will serve on your face. Like if you're a regular there, that's when, because they've got a liking to you, which is never supposed to be the case. Every customer is equal. Even if I'm paying, even if it's just $2 for my Zambezi and I'm going, or it's $200 in Tengimbo, we're still customers, isn't it? And then the second thing, which I feel like is more important, these guys are not trained. What I've noticed is that Abantu lava, they like basic customer service training. Like how you greet a person, service with a smile, that kind of thing. But less dresses up. I mean, so as less dress engine. And they bring
actually the opposite of what you said. Uti, when you're now a regular at a place, and me if I'm a regular, they'll put me aside.
That happens as well.
Yes. She's very understanding.
She's gonna come back in.
It's like I'm supposed to be understanding. I'm saying and stuff, and
I think it's an issue of profiling. The first thing that they do is they look at you. Like Umchidalo is more likely to spend the Malengaga at this place, and then we are going to give him this treatment. And then if they perceive you in a certain way, they are more likely to treat you better. But then I have an issue. I can't say it's an issue, but it's a concern rather, to say we need to be very careful with how we treat express our frustrations there too with our businesses, because I feel like it's black-owned businesses, right? You do more damage if you complain about tip service at a local establishment than you do if you complain maybe, let's say, an international owned franchise, because that might be the first touch point for someone who has never been to that establishment. So now that's their perception of that place. So I think for me, what I would advise, like, I hate the word advice because you're so but I just feel like I understand, because sometimes if you keep in mind you're paying, you're frustrated, and you reserve that right to be frustrated. But I feel like we need to be wary of how we handle that issue, because I still feel like you can still try and find someone superior to deal with Umuntu or better personnel. Because if you take it online, I used to do that. I used to take issues online and I have a lot of regrets, because there's certain ways I've been addressed because of how I used to handle things online. So I don't know.
What if it doesn't work? So ngasukhulumile labantu bangikhona suthe guys zamani phela ukuyenza service be fast abakulaleli, they're like one less customer, it's fine, indawo yethu yagcwala.
Just don't go maybe.
No, just don't go, yeah. Because I feel like as far as that is concerned, there's adverse effects of actually just taking this thing online. For example, if you are in the space that we're in, you never know what you mean, like Sasa. I'll want to do something that requires the help or the service or abantu love. And then they remind you, my guy, actually that they do. I can assure you, these guys already know, because I was with some of them yesterday, I was saying earlier on, they saw that tweet and they're like, how? This guy could have actually approached us. You know what I mean?
Did it have worked though?
They did. Some did admit that. Look, the service endaweni yethu lapha, and we've also noticed that it's bad. So we will try and do something better. But like if some of abantu bethu civil esibaziyo, they've got our numbers. They don't. They forego the option of actually approaching us. Behle behambe straight ngale. You don't.
The problem is Bulawayo doesn't have like a big social space like Huguti indawo eziningi zokuhamba. So I think also kuyabapha to be like engayekela uya lapha uzaya ngaphi. When you are now
banjalo like this that thing.
Mina I kind of think ukuthi ungabe unjani ungakwanisa uku-expressa in a better way, but are they going to do anything about it is my question. Are they going to do anything about it, or they'll just brush it off as a...
All right. On the side of a restaurant, the establishment, and I feel like right now it doesn't help them to be complacent, because we were saying this earlier on, there's new businesses that are opening up, that have opened up actually, and these guys are coming with force. Just the other day it was Ferry Cafe. Just this weekend it was Roku Mamas and Cotton Lounge. You know what I mean? And these all want a piece of the same pie. So if you approach this market, you say, you know what? And then when they express that feedback, even if it's from a place of anger and you don't take it seriously, they will go somewhere else. Now options are there. You know what I mean? So it's gone are the days when it was just Zara and Smokehouse. You know what I mean? It's now stiff, fam. So you really need to take some of this feedback, a bit seriously.
I'm not but really generally in the city. For me, it's just that's my approach right now. I don't want to be responsible for anything that might be perceived as a smear campaign against a friend or someone. That's just me. That's the person I've grown into. But personally, 95% of the times, and it saddens me to say this, but that I always receive bad customer service. To the extent that any time I receive it, it could like sure.
It's like who feels
So like it's so bad. So I don't know what can be done. Who are the people that need to be approached? Because at the same time, into le yahlupha nxa ungabona umuntu utreat abantu gobi and then you approach akaningi suqotsha umsebenzi. That is a bearing also on you and your family. You're taking care of people, we are black people. But at the same time, if you are employed, work to the best of your capabilities to make sure that you give a good service for that establishment to here pumping. But most people don't have that. It's like, even in the change, I'll give you an example. Like, it's not my problem as a customer what I will change.
It's actually not.
It's not my problem. It's your problem. And at first, I put him under change. No.
And they
try and make it
because this is money that's coming into the company.
So
it's like you're turning that money away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and another thing, we're now moving from this particular one, but it's in the same field. Like when you go to places that are frequented by white people, and as a black person, to figure lapha. I think I'm saying 95% good service is so rare to get. When you get to that establishment and that attention it's like there's now this perception we don't tip and anything. But if you gave me bad service from the start, I have to beg your attention it's just, and it's not the same.
It's not the same. You can actually tell.
In that table, service is fast. Look, are you alright? Like, why are you even here? Have you guys ever experienced that? No, it's just me.
Not really. I definitely have. But what I'm thinking of is, where it comes from. I feel like it's an inferiority complex, and I don't blame us as black people.
On their side.
Yeah. I mean, we only got our independence a few years ago. If you we're scared of white people. If you think of the amount of centuries that the whole world was under white rule, and you compare that to the amount of years that we've been free. I don't blame people actually for of course deep. You know what I mean, yeah. I'm deep sometimes. But I'm also not saying it's a good thing. We now need to recognize this prejudice within ourselves and correct it. The man is green either way, whether it's coming from a black hand or a white hand.
It's still, I think it's small things. It's like even in our language, not a sharp kiwa. It's
exactly, bro. Exactly.
But so you're already enforcing that thing. Which anyone who is on a higher pedestal than you are, the kiwa. So even another black person, for you to actually acknowledge them, you actually have to call them a kiwa, so that you can actually give them the same respect that you give to a white person. But like Mina, my question is, are we obliged to tip? Is it an obligation? Because like if I'm there, I'm buying something, and you're earning a salary for the service, I'm not obliged to tip you. For me, that's my thinking. Like, I don't know. If it would tip, like it should be something that I'm like, Mundulo was actually extra nice. I can actually spare some dollars.
I think in other countries you're obliged, right?
And the obligation, and it's not like they force you. It's actually there in your bill.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly. So let's say cotton lodge, for example. I'm not saying cotton lodge does it. For example, let's say you've cotton lodge, partners eating a packet and lava chains and the panini for the girls, whatever. If you look at it, and analyze it, you'll see that there's a certain percentage of the bill that went to your tip. Towards the locals. But in any case, in places where tipping is not like obligatory, I feel like it should be based on the amount, the quality of service that you got. Nothing besides that. You don't already usebenza khona. So for serving me, you were doing your job. You're getting a salary for it. Now, if you went over and above, the same way if you're working in sales, you get commission over and above your salary because you brought in a big client. Then we can talk about amalocals and ama tips. Yeah, but anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, we've also heard like Jay-Z tipped 10,000. Yeah, what?
Yeah.
But it's Jay-Z, bro. Imagine if Jay-Z comes into Kanekasa, bro. The amount of service that guy would get.
But if you notice, if between black and white people, spending habits of black people usually, and you tend to overlook those people.
But the thing is, for a black person, whether you have money or not, like your skin will always be used against you to degrade you or something. Like a white person can walk into a bank and go short. I totally loan. When you have you it's just, I think that's just how it is.
So looking at Ama spending habits, like what you were saying, I feel like that status quo in Aliana, where constantly you need to prove that you belong. It then leads to certain consumer habits. Because I was thinking of a stat right now when you're talking, right? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. Someone did a study of consumer habits in America. And they noticed that the biggest personal, like about consumer goods, is black people, not white people. And the funny part is what black people are spending money on. Can tell something $1 billion in the year. They're spending on 2 things. I'm a Mercedes, I'm a Jordans.
Nice.
Yeah, well, not property, not it was Mercedes Benz, and J's. You know what I mean? So and these are all like I'm trying to say superficial. I'd say, like you see an own pulling up in a Merc, you're like, hey, that he's made it. You see an own rocking the latest J's, like, nah, this guy's made it. You know what I mean? So
We don't come from wealth, so now we have to display an idea or a perception of your world.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Because ungakucabanga. You khayisengicanga nami ukuthi maybe nganilestent.
Yeah, you know.
Yabenhleka kwapapa hey, maybe umuntu
encane layo spend it ayithenga stand.
Nah.
Stand izabakhona.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I think it's the most interesting thing that we've seen probably this week.
Yes.
Our famous doctor, our Dr. Nandipa. No, this is my question now. What's the craziest thing you guys have done for love? Because wow.
I don't even think I've done anything crazy for love, bro.
Yeah, you probably have.
I'm not.
Probably have, bro.
But not to this extent.
Yeah, this one is it's another level.
Not to this extent. Because when I was looking at the story and you look kind of city yo.
Like it's just your nje.
It's like the makings and the fact that you can't make it happen. It's just
Any movie, Michan.
And if you were to make a movie out of this, even then people wouldn't believe you. They're like, this movie, there are too many lies there, like Fast and Furious or something. Yeah.
And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But Mina, my thing that I'm literally just worried about, and as women, are we so vulnerable to men? I think for
the benefit of people that like me, we were part of the story lesson. I think let's tell them what she did.
Okay, so the doctor, Dr. Nandipa, she got, this is from my understanding, and she was involved with a convicted
Utabo Pesta.
Yeah, he was
and apparently it's not even his name, he stole that identity. Kufana la mix podcast konapo then you see someone say voice is on the run. Then I'm like, how kanja? He stole that identity, but anyway.
So what was I saying? I was saying what he was known as the Facebook rapist then.
Yes.
So this is not a small crime, guys. Like find burglary and stuff.
It was several women.
Yeah, several women.
Actually.
So he was convicted, thrown into jail and then they planned this elaborate escape, which is purely genius. Faked his death. Faked his death. They had to find a fake body. What. And then moral of the story, because he was spotted at Woolies. And someone was like, but no, this guy was presumed dead. He's alive, busy, Woolies. So, we're living in the age of social media. So it's like one picture. So it went viral. So the police got involved. No. Oh, he was with the doctor. And
yes.
He was with the doctor when he was.
So he was spotted by a fan of the doctor.
The doctor had
she's got a following.
She's got quite a following. She's an established person, in her own right.
Okay.
Yeah.
She seemed like she was having like a typically nice life. Impilo sibili latest ngayifuna from the outside. But hey, umjolo.
Yeah, there was something that was special about Umchita.
It makes me think of what I hate to even say this, the goat said, go to it.
Go to it.
Go to it and say women are drawn to dangerous men.
No, they are. That one is true. I've experienced it.
That's even through high school, bro. Now, I think is I was a nerd, so now I'm talking about this from a place of hatred, but we all know, bro. Like all these chicks went for bad boys.
Those are the guys. Even like women, those are the guys that they like. The most notorious guy. The most notorious guys.
As you grow older, you want safety.
No.
As you grow older, you want safety.
But no, women like men who keep them on their age.
Nandipa did not want safety.
She was safe.
Yeah.
No, but what I don't understand is people who are turning her into a victim now. I think she knew exactly. If she's not more dangerous than Tabo, I don't know.
I think she's more dangerous than Tabo.
I think she is more dangerous.
I feel like the thing is with today's relations, right? Everything that happens, women will always be perceived as the victim. And I understand it's because of how we live in a patriarchal society. So how things affect a woman.
It's because in a patriarchal system, man,
Exactly.
Yeah. That is why even in the Bible, do you know they don't blame Eve for that sin? They blame Adam. But wawungapi? Esidli apple yona, where were you? I don't subscribe to that nonsense, of course. She was a grown woman, like what was she doing? You know what I mean? But that's my.
The snake was male.
Aye, the snake had no gender, bro. Aye. It was a gender neutral snake. It was a snake. It was never referred to as him or her. It's a snake.
It does not fall into a box.
It does no. It identifies as a snake.
Yeah, so women usually they end up coming out as the victims. It's just sad. Because now you don't have a neutral point, you're arbitrator between issues. Every issue, like, it's black and white. It's like, oh, it involves a woman, then she's the victim. Yeah. It's always, even right now, someone can come, Vuyeti, you raped her. A woman can say that. People will believe that instinctive, like at first, that's what they will believe. For real, you did it. Even whether it's wrong or not.
Yeah, I'll say something. And yesterday we were talking about this the group. Go for me story about a UZ guy that raped, allegedly raped his girlfriend, and the way it goes, she invited him to her workplace. Things happened. It was non-consensual according to her. And then a few days later, he broke up with her. And then she says, no, I got raped. You know what I mean? So I remember abantu to the group until I said, no, guys. I'm not saying she didn't get raped, and I think I'll get cancelled for this. But you know what? I'm already in. Let me commit and say it. Don't you think it's weird that she then reports the rape when he breaks up with her? You know what I mean? So I was like, look, was you, but that's it feeds into the narrative that in most cases and that involve a guy and a girl and something bad happens, we're always the ones that say, you know what, look, she was a victim in all this.
This is my stand on this one.
Yeah.
When a girl reports she has been raped, whether she goes to the police or she goes to her family, I think she has to be believed. Man.
No, that's right. We agree. I agree with that.
I don't agree, but it's fine.
Listen,
I agree with what she's saying.
If she says, she comes up and she says, this has happened, so and so has raped me, I don't think it's right to ulamanga or question that person.
Yeah.
So you go to the police, go to the authorities, and she gets her medical things or whatever. And umuntu wangikhona is questioned and yikho mina ngibelieve timele kwenzakala. If it's found out ukuthi garechwa I think she should also face the same penalties along as our face, because it's also very damaging to what the person. But I don't think it's okay ukuthi when rape victim or someone who's saying ukuthi they've been a rape victim is not believed instantly. I think it's very damaging for those who have actually gone through it.
Mina personally, I agree with you, because like I asked some guy at work, I was like, bro, if your daughter or your sister comes and says they've been raped, you would not say, I want to hear the full story. You will be angry. You want to go and dismiss the guy, right?
Angry.
So, but now you're insensitive. But then you have to look at things from both ends. Umuntu as a victim can actually weaponize a victim. You know, so if you are saying at least if it's found out that that person is wrong, they have to face the same penalties, true. But now you look at it from two perspectives, right? So now there is issue reputation and the law itself. Maybe the law can actually say, Umchita is not guilty, but now your reputation is gone.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it comes into play. The person, if you report a rape and then you have not been
it's found out to do lied,
you have to face the consequences. Because now, Minalami, I won't lie to you, if something like that was to be done to someone in close or something, and was a question. What you guilt or not? We have to find a way.
But which then begs the question, and your assessment of the situation as someone that's close is very biased and it cannot be trusted. So my point is, where I definitely agree with you, and it's not a matter of believing or not, it's a matter of investigation.
Exactly.
As with any crime, the next thing to do is investigate to see if it's true or not. If we kill someone, is it true or not? It's not a matter of like, we believe her. Let's try and see if we can prove that what she's saying is right, or we don't believe her, let's try and prove her wrong. It's a matter of investigating with a clear mind and a clear conscience and get to the truth. Yeah, because the law, you said something about the law. The law, funny enough, it says a person is innocent until proven guilty.
True. But now there's two courts. The courts.
Oh, there's a court of public opinion. Yeah, but which then also feeds into your point where you said, Wuti, in as much as I have been absolved of my alleged crime of rape, Konokan, which is someone actually thought about it, and the public thinks that this guy was once suspected of rape.
The story, I don't remember when it was, but there was Umtana Lana, the youngest child to get pregnant or something like that. Yeah, and why 8-9ish, I guess. Everyone was suspecting
the father.
It was the father, yeah.
And was he not?
He was, but I mean,
What do I sue?
The tests were done. Now, how do you come from that?
Imagine your neighbors.
And you're like, these people really think that I could have raped my own child.
Yeah, but it happens.
Yeah.
It does happen because it was technically and it was statutory rape or whatever it is. But rape is a big thing in this country, like in Africa.
Everywhere.
So, believe umuntu stop those who have actually been raped, like coming forward.
Yeah,
because I won't be believed, and so you're now sitting there every day.
But the stats of guys that are falsely convicted of rape, they're staggering. They're scared, which then it makes me pause. Before I used to be off that stance. When woman says she was raped, and I feel like there's something. We must give her an ear, and I still think we must. But then I'm like, But these days, unfortunately, a lot of people, like you say, they weaponize Uber live because they know that really abantu bazanlalela.
There should probably be a law against that also.
Exactly. I feel like that must also be
to the other person also.
Very much.
How do you come up from that?
Once you're liable to rapist,
whereas in this world of being cancelled,
you're out.
Yeah, but coming back to the story of Nandipa Lotabo Pest, yes. What I wanted to say is something that's a very unpopular opinion, especially with traditionalists and Christians and so on. And it's the topic of submission. You know what I mean? I feel like submission is okay, but there's a point where you'll be like, in as much as I must admit to vision that it's not make sure. And then you must be able to check your guy, bro. Like, hey, bro, yes. Right, we're gonna need 3 parties and when do we need them? Yeah,
what if she was the mastermind of everything? I'm just saying, like,
she could have been.
She really
because how many strings could he pull from the inside?
I know, so try. Hey, but it's just that we will never know.
We'll never know.
Maybe we'll.
And is
know
it true that he escaped again?
I think that's fake news.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I tried to verify it yesterday, but
I think that's fake news.
my comrades in South African intelligence couldn't give my answer. Could not be reached for a comment.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of
why, man?
Yeah, we still had a lot to talk about.
The only bad part about screenshot is that it ends.
That's the only.
Because we were still in it. Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time. Bye.
Cool.